Peace in Israel was fragile, settling over the arid hills, but war was drawing near. The drums of the Philistines echoed from the western hills, crawling under the skin of every soldier. "I can't believe it," a recruit muttered. "The Philistines are attacking. I just want to go home." "We stop here," the scarred captain declared roughly. "Tomorrow, we crush them." King Saul inspected the lines, tall and imposing, yet his heart was heavy with worry about the valley. Among the Philistines stood Goliath of Gath, a giant who seemed more myth than mortal. His bronze armor glittered like dragon scales, striking deep fear into the hearts of even the bravest men. Every morning, Goliath marched to the front lines, his booming voice rolling like thunder across the canyon. "Orders are in," the captain sighed. "We head to the front. No Philistine gets past the valley." They marched to the ridge, shields locked, only to be met by the terrifying sight of the giant. "Hello, boys," the giant roared, stepping forward, his massive shadow covering them completely. "Oh my God," a soldier whispered, trembling. "He is massive. What kind of man is that?" Goliath laughed, a sound like shifting gravel. "They call me Goliath. You will call me Death." Another soldier dropped his spear in terror. "He is not a man. He is a monster." Goliath slammed his spear into the earth. "Send a man to fight me. If he falls, Israel bows." He paused, scanning the trembling line. "Who of you idiots wants to die first?" Even King Saul was at a loss, pacing his tent, unsure how to deal with such a formidable enemy. Desperate, Saul sent messengers throughout the land to gather more soldiers to turn the tide. A messenger arrived in Bethlehem, crying out in the village square, "War is upon us." Jesse's 3 eldest sons stepped forward. "We will stand with King Saul against the Philistines." Jesse embraced them. "Son," he said to Eliab, "battles are won with faith as much as strength." Eliab nodded grimly. "This is my chance to finally prove myself, Father." David, the youngest, watched his brothers prepare. He was wiry and strong, but still just a youth. He wished to go, but knew he had to stay behind to tend the family flock. The next morning, David's brothers left for the valley of Elah. David stayed behind with the sheep, the loneliness of the hills his only companion. "I can't believe they left without me," he murmured, watching them disappear over the ridge. Days later, a lion stalked the flock, its eyes gleaming in the twilight. David, armed only with a sling, roared at the beast and chased it down, rescuing the lamb. Another night, a bear lumbered from the caves. David stood his ground, his sling singing in the dark. "Whoa," he breathed as the bear fled. "That was really close. We're safe now." In the fields, David's faith deepened. He played his harp, his voice carrying in the quiet air. "In the fields with the sheep, with my heart I will weep, songs to praise your name." Weeks passed. Jesse, old and worried, paced outside his home. "It is time to send food." David returned from the fields. "Father, I rescued the sheep from a lion and a bear." "Enough, David," Jesse interrupted, handing him a sack. "Take this grain to your brothers at the battlefield." David hesitated, looking back at the sheep. Okay, father." Early the next morning, David left the sheep with another boy. "Good luck, David," Sam called out. David journeyed for a day, the tension growing thicker as he neared the valley of Elah. He arrived at the chaotic camp. "What is a boy doing here?" a guard grumbled. I come with food. It is for my brothers, David explained, holding up the sack. The battle is about to begin, the guard said. Leave the food with me. Battle? David asked. I must find them. He ran past the guard toward the ridge. Wait, the guard shouted, but David was already gone. David reached the ridge just as Goliath's voice boomed across the ravine like thunder. You cowards! The giant roared. Send a man to fight me. The Israelite line recoiled in fear. There is no way we can beat him, a soldier whispered. David stared, not in fear, but in anger. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Why is no one fighting him? David demanded, his voice clear above the murmurs. Eliab spun around, his face dark. David, go home. I only ask a question, David said, standing his ground. Is there no faith here? Stop acting silly and leave, Eliab hissed. But David turned to another soldier. I will fight him, David declared. The soldier stared at the crazy shepherd boy. Word reached the command tent. My king, there is a boy who wants to fight. Saul looked up from his despair. Send him to me at once. David entered the tent, small and carrying his staff. I will fight the giant, my king. Saul sighed. You are just a boy. He has been a warrior since his youth. God delivered me from a lion and a bear, David said with fire in his eyes. He will deliver me from this Philistine. Saul looked at the boy, seeing true faith. Go then, Saul whispered, and may the Lord be with you. Saul offered his own armor. David tried it on, but it was too heavy and big. I cannot walk in these, David said, taking it off. I must go as I am. David walked to the brook and chose 5 smooth stones, putting them in his pouch. He walked out onto the battlefield, armed only with his staff and sling. Goliath saw him and roared with laughter. Am I a dog that you come with sticks? You come with sword and spear, David shouted, running forward. I come in the name of God. Today the world will know there is a God in Israel. David placed a stone in his sling. He swung the sling, a blur of motion. Goliath raised his shield, but he was too slow. The stone flew true, whistling through the air, and struck the giant in the forehead. Goliath swayed, his eyes losing focus. He fell forward, crashing to the earth like a tower. Silence fell over the valley. Then, a single cheer erupted. The giant is dead. Rise, men of Israel, Saul shouted, drawing his sword. Charge! The Philistines panicked and fled. The Israelite army surged forward like a flood. The battle was won, not by an army, but by the faith of a shepherd. And so, the story of Goliath ended, and the legend of King David began.